Okay, we're here in Seapoint, Cape Town, on the 28th of September 2012. I'm interviewing my cousin, Chaddy Stolper. Chaddy, why don't you kick off and tell us when you were born, where you came from, and all about your parents.
Well, I was born in Johannesburg, 22nd of November 1931.
Whereabouts in, what address in Johannesburg?
Sorry?
What address in Johannesburg?
Oh, 38 Wellington Road, Parktown, Johannesburg.
Oh wow, okay.
The same road as Parktown Boys High.
Oh, okay, cool. Yes. And
my father was David, who emigrated to the country when he's about 12 years old.
Okay.
And my mother, Matilda, Mattie, who was born in Potchefstroom and was the eldest of 4 children. Sure family.
Okay. And so where did their parents come from? Which part of the world?
Well, Lithuania, but my mother was born in Potchefstroom.
Right, okay.
And, well, I think quickly like to say that I had a very extremely happy childhood.
All right, cool. And you grew up in Parktown?
Parktown. And
cool.
The influence I like to remember is the Sure family. They would be very important in my life.
Right. They're a joyous family, no?
Well, they're a very loyal family. They're there when you want them, and otherwise they leave you alone.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is a good recipe for happy families.
Yes, yes. And so what do you remember in particular? Any particularly good or bad incidents in your childhood that you can...
Well, a lot of the incidents were based on holidays to Potchefstroom with my grandmother, Gilka, who was a wonderful woman.
Right.
And I used to enjoy catching chickens and taking them to be slaughtered for Friday night dinner.
All right.
She cooked magnificently.
What was the address in Potchefstroom? Do you remember?
Was it Berg Street?
Oh,
you don't remember that.
I remember the house, but I don't remember.
I think it's Berg Street.
B-E-R-G, 120
Yeah.
Berg Street. Okay. I remember there was a beautiful fig tree there, and that they owned. At some stage, they owned a bottling company. Is that
well, they owned the lemonade, made lemonade, and I used to spend my very early youth driving the horse and cart which delivered all the lemonade round Potchefstroom.
Oh right. And they had a particular type of sort of plunger that went into the bottle with a wire closer, didn't they?
No. This is. I know they did that, but their main thing was the ordinary type of lemonade that you opened with a cap on top.
Right.
And
okay.
it's the one big thing when I went to Potchefstroom, I never drank water.
Oh yes.
Had lemonade.
But then later on, they produced a number of different types of sodas, didn't they?
Well, they sold out to Pepsi Cola.
In the end, but
they produced quite a lot of different things.
So was Pepsi already in South Africa, or was that how Pepsi got started?
Well, Coca-Cola was. I think Pepsi just came
and bought our bottling plant.
Followed Coca-Cola.
Yeah. So interesting.
I also used to go to the equivalent. Well, my mother had. Family in Petersburg. They also had a mineral factory.
Oh, okay. So they had it was obviously a popular thing at the time.
Yeah.
You know?
Also, they had very good friends who had an ice cream factory.
Oh, okay.
And someone else who had a biltong factory.
So there was a lot of swapping going on. Ice cream, biltong, some of the healthiest things you can possibly imagine. So, okay,
and I have very, very pleasant memories of this all.
Okay, and did you grow up under strict discipline, or were you a smoker? Were you naughty at all?
Oh, I was naughty, but I had a wonderful mother I don't think very many people were blessed with her good
Yes,
sense.
she was a lovely lady.
Mm.
Yeah. And she was the oldest of the four, yes?
Something a lot of people don't know, she was a bit of a disciplinarian in this way.
Yes.
That if I did something wrong, she lathered me.
Yes.
But then right after this is done, she says, now, let's discuss it. Was I right or wrong to give
so she disciplined with reason. She didn't, yeah.
But she disciplined me, and then we spoke.
Uh-huh.
And then she says, she hugged me and said, now we forget about it.
Oh, that's very nice.
She also brought me up with various ideas which have filled my life. For example, she told me that the one thing we didn't have in our family was the word for rebel, which means bearing a grudge against others.
Oh, really?
And that has been part of my whole life. I've never had a rebel for anyone.
Uh-huh. Okay. That's good. Yeah. So, and then, which Parktown, is that near Witwatersrand University?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on a hill there. It's a park now, yes? Where
That's
the house
right.
was.
Parktown, and I went to the school, which was right at the bottom of the hill, near the university.
Right. I was around there the other day. I saw a school called, some boys from a school called
Helpmaker.
Kuman Helpmaker.
Yeah, that was over the road.
Okay.
We used to play rugby against them, and they used to thrash us regularly.
Yes, well, the three boys I saw the other day in Melville were some of they looked like Springbok rugby players. I'm sure not a lot has changed. So, what was Johannesburg like in those days? Was it safe? Did you go into the centre of town, Hillbrow?
Oh, yes. I was being white, so it was a complete privilege there.
In those days?
In those days.
In the 30s, yeah.
Definitely, but, and I walked wherever I wanted. Hillbrow used to be a big part for me to go to, walk to.
Yeah,
and
it took about half an hour.
I just never thought of danger.
There was no danger, practically.
No, not for a white person.
The danger was for a black person.
Well, I should have been. This, I didn't feel it.
Yeah, so you don't even know. It wasn't part of your world.
Know.
Yeah.
I didn't know at that stage.
Yeah. So, you must have been, what date did you say you were born again? Something 1931?
Yeah.
What was the date?
22nd of November.
Okay, so you
Same
were...
day as Kennedy was assassinated.
Okay. So you were almost 8, or you were just over 8 when the war broke out, the Second World War.
Yeah.
Did you come across any anti-Semitism in the 30s in Johannesburg?
I personally didn't. I came across small amounts, but nothing really.
Mm-hmm.
I felt slightly inferior being Jewish.
Mm-hmm.
By what people said, I thought it seemed to be a privilege to be a non-Jewish, but it was not a big thing.
And what did your dad and mum do as a profession?
Well, my dad had a shop selling clothes to black people.
Whereabouts was that?
In Market Street.
Do you remember the address and the name of the company?
Well, it was his own address, and it was right at the bottom of Market Street.
What was the shop called?
Don't think it had a name.
Oh, it was just a shop.
Just a shop.
Oh, interesting. Okay, and your mum? She just took care of the
housewife.
Cool.
But
and what were the favourite dishes? Were there any particular dishes that your mum cooked that were great?
Well, we had a cook called Rebecca,
mm-hmm.
who also used to be my nurse initially.
Yes.
In other words, she put me on her back.
Yes.
Yes. And I don't know, just all the cooking was very, very good.
Oh yeah, no favourite dishes?
Not really. extremely good cooking.